everybody, it's Christine Parma. I am back today for your Thursday Mindset Reset video training. This really is a training. It's a training for your mind and the inner game that you are playing, whether or not you realize you're playing it, but you're playing to win in life. Hopefully, you're playing the game so that you're winning in life. And winning in life really means having more of what you want and more of what makes you happy and gives you fulfillment in your life, right? That's what we all want. We want fulfillment in our lives and happiness and joy and abundance and all of the things that our hearts desire. So today is the Mindset Reset. And I do this every Thursday night. Right now with daylight savings time, it's at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then the business trainings are on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely tune in for those too if you haven't caught them yet. So I am Christine Parma from ChristineParma.com if you don't know who I am. And I help ambitious mama entrepreneurs to build their profitable businesses without working 24/7 or sacrificing themselves, their family, and their sanity along the way. And I help you, mama entrepreneurs, create the time and the systems they need to do that so they can have more joy and abundance too. So you can find out more about me and how I work at ChristineParma.com. Today's topic is, really important. I think all the things I talk about are really important, and that's why I'm talking about them. But I'm going to be sharing a very simple trick with you to greatly increase your joy and abundance in your life. And it's a simple trick, but it's often overlooked. And it can be a little challenging to do. So I'd love to hear your questions and your comments. Just type it in the comments box below as we go along, and I'm happy to answer them. I can even pull your comments up on the screen and feature them so other people can see them too, which is a really cool feature of BeLive TV. If you're not using BeLive, use it. If you're doing live stream, you gotta have it. It's awesome. So if you like the video while we're going through, please share it. Invite others to get in on this goodness, this mindset recalibration. So let's dive in. And of course, I'm going to be glancing down at my notes occasionally because you know I really like to bring a lot of value to the video trainings that I do. So I want to go back to the problem. Okay, so what's the problem? A lot of times I think when we are struggling to get what we want, maybe we're working really hard and we feel like we're doing all of the right things, but nothing's happening, or we just can't seem to get ahead in life. And we're thinking about what we want, and maybe we're even visioning it and we're still not getting it. Or, you feel like your life is really terrible and you deserve a lot better, and somehow it's just, you can't turn it around. So I think in those circumstances, a lot of times we think, my problem is I don't have enough money, I don't have enough clients, I don't have the relationship that I want. And so we look for an outer world solution. And what I want to propose to you today and talk about is that if you feel like you're making a lot of effort, and you still keep getting dealt a stinky old hand, cards by life, you're not getting what you want, or even if it's just not as much as you want, that what the problem is, it's not lack of information, lack of knowledge, or lack of proper execution, although it can be those things. Definitely it can, if you're sitting on your bum waiting for money to rain from the sky on your head, then you're lacking in execution and action for sure, unless you're Sai Baba and can manifest out of nothing. Okay, there are the few exceptions. But you need to look really, if you're stuck, and you're in this frustrating cycle of not being able to get what you want, not manifesting it in the outer world, you really got to take a look at what's going on inside, right? Because the cause probably is a limiting belief you're bumping up against, or a mindset that's not serving you. And solving that inner world issue, shall we say, that challenge will actually result in massive shifts in what you see happening in your outer world. Now, I want to give you like an analogy for this to help you make it really clear. And this analogy actually comes from a client I was working with this week, and we're creating her amazing signature program. And she's had a lot of trauma and drama in her life. And, you know, we all go, I think, through hard times, or most of us. Occasionally you'll find a person who just kind of had a, you know, generally stress-free life up until the point. But generally we all have our really hard moments and really hard lessons and really hard times in life. And she said, you know, when I was working through your exercises, Christine, this came to me. So I can look at what happened to me, the trauma and the drama and all the terrible stuff. I can look at it as essentially a big pile of crap. Those were my words, a big pile of crap. A big manure pile, shall we say. But she said, if I reframe this, those are my words, but reframe this and instead think of it as a, you know, instead of thinking of it as a big pile of crap, think of it as a compost pile, then what the crap turns into is rich, nutritious, like the best soil that you could put plants in. And I'm an avid gardener. I love gardening and organic gardening. And so that analogy really hit home with me, because who doesn't have, you know, their pile of crap from life or their day, you know, it could be happening to you right now. Can you relate? If you can relate, give me a thumbs up or, you know, type yes in the comments below. You know, we all have our piles of crap that happened. And I have had my share in my life. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know parts of that. But what this key is, this secret that I wanted to share with you about having more joy and abundance in your life is when you're looking at the pile of crap, make the perspective shift. You know, there's a saying that when you change how you look at things, the things that you're looking at will change. You know, I really want to drive that home. Perspective. I'm trying to type around my mic here. So the key really is a perspective shift. Now that may seem too simple of a solution to you. And I want to warn you against disregarding it. Because when you, this is why. Because when you make a perspective shift, you start to shift your energy around the situation. So let's say that you're, you know, because I'm a mom and an entrepreneur and I'm in business for myself, say I, you know, am having trouble signing up clients. I'm having trouble connecting with my clients. I can look at that situation and think there aren't enough clients. Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out about not having enough money. How am I going to pay my bills? You know, put all this negative energy around the situation. But if I can look at that situation, or, you know, even my past traumas in my life, and shift my perspective, I start to shift my energy. And with regards to hurts, past hurts, you know, that may have left you feeling totally broken inside, you know, people who've hurt you, situations that have been awful in your life, when you start to shift the perspective that you take around that situation, even if it's just starting off of, you know, asking yourself, how can I look at this differently? You know, what are the possibilities? How can see differently? I'll try and say here. Then you can, this is really hard to type. Then you can start to look for the lessons, the gems in the pile of crap that may be hidden in the pile of crap, and start to transform that drama and that trauma from the past or current into something that actually has value and has meaning. And when you're able to shift your perspective and give the hurts and the ugly parts and the terrible parts of your life or your circumstances, when you're able to give it meaning, then it becomes valuable to you. It could be valuable, immensely valuable to other people. So, when you think about the stories that you connect with and people that you connect with, usually it's much harder to feel a deep connection to, say, somebody who seems to have the perfect life, right? You may even feel jealous of them, right? The superstar movie stars, they have the perfect life. They drive the fancy cars. They have all the money, et cetera, et cetera. Life is easy. You don't feel a deep connection to them because they don't seem real. But say you take this superstar and they share a story that you can connect with of their story of their past pain, their past drama, their past hardship that they went through and they overcame. What happens? You feel a lot more connection and a much deeper connection to them. One of the stories that just popped in my head is Tony Robbins. I mean, Tony Robbins, talk about a powerhouse, but he started off just as, quote, regular person, just like you and me. And one of the stories that he tells from his life that really connects with people is growing up, he didn't have enough food. He was I think they were on food stamps. I mean, really, and no food. And there was one Thanksgiving that their family was not going to have a Thanksgiving. They weren't going to have any food because they didn't have any money to buy it. They were extremely poor. And somebody showed up at their house with a full Thanksgiving dinner. And this is the short version of it, but that moment, he says, changed everything for him because he felt like people cared. He felt like the world wasn't an awful, cruel place where nobody cared about you. One person showed up and made a huge difference in his life. And that's also when he resolved that when he would be successful, he would feed other people because he didn't have the money to do that. Their family didn't have the money to feed themselves back then. So his trauma of not having enough food, not having enough money growing up, being extremely poor, made a huge difference in shaping who he was in his life. He gave meaning to that. He is thankful. He even acknowledges he's thankful for that situation because it shaped who he was. So when you can make this perspective shift, you start to shift your energy. You start to see, there's value in the situation, and you give the situation meaning. And I'll tell you this, when you have something that's really horrible in your life that's happened and you give it meaning and purpose, it can't hurt you nearly as much as it did before. It can't when you make that perspective shift. If you can take the junk from your life and give it meaning and help somebody else with it, that is a huge perspective shift. And you take what once was hurting you and holding you back and stopping you from having the joy and abundance that you desire and deserve, and you turn it into something positive and positive energy that helps other people. And how powerful is that? If you're getting what I'm saying, if it's resonating with you, whether you're on the live stream right now or in the replay, type a comment below. Share, please. I would love to hear something that, if you are committed to shifting hey, Alfredo, it's so good to see you. Shifting your mindset around a current situation. Alfredo says, I was without a job for 2 years, but was able to care for my son during that time. That's awesome. That's amazing, Alfredo. It probably had a lot to do with how you looked at the situation and also being persistent, right? And being committed to caring for your son. That's the bigger why, right? That was your driver that I imagine got you through that situation, and that you were able to make it work even though you were jobless for 2 years. And that has a lot to do with your energy. And I want to talk real quick about energy. So, you're making, if you look at a situation and you make the perspective shift and you start to shift your energy from very low vibration, anger, resentment, jealousy, envy, frustration is a little bit, less of a negative vibration, but still negative. When you are vibrating at that negative energy, you're like a tuning fork. And what happens with a tuning fork? It starts all of the other tuning forks around it. So you're the tuning fork. You are putting off this low vibration energy. You start to attune to low vibration, low energy things around you. And I was listening to an Abraham Hicks audio the other day, and this was really interesting. She said, or Abraham said, that there is no pushing away energy in the universe. Everything is attraction. So it's not, that when you say you hate something, you don't like something, you're not pushing it away. What you're actually doing is you're giving so much negative energy and focus to a situation that you're actually attracting more of the bad stuff that you think you're pushing away. You're not pushing it away by hating it or being angry about it or resenting it. You're actually filling up your life, filling up your proverbial cup with all the stuff you don't want, because you're becoming the tuning fork. You're becoming a magnet for all of the negative stuff that you say you don't want in your life. So shifting your perspective is so important. When you can, start to make that shift, you stop attuning yourself and your vibration to what you don't want. And you start to become a magnet and vibrate at a higher level that attracts the things that you do want. Things like joy and abundance and prosperity and happiness and community, and feeling worthy and deserving. You start to attune your energy to those things. So are you finding this valuable? If you're finding this valuable, please say yes in the comments, and please share it with somebody who you feel like could really use, it would be useful for them to hear this message today or whenever you're watching this video. Share it with your community, because the more people who are able to make a perspective shift and start shifting your energy to a higher level, the better the world's going to be. I mean, really, the better your life will be. But you'll start to see by shifting your inner energy. Terry says, yes, I am. Good. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that, Terry. Shifting your energy. And what happens, this is the inner to outer world result, is when you are, start shifting your energy magically, quote, quote, magically, the things that happen that you see in the outer world start to change too. So you will, oh my gosh, clients will start showing up. They'll just pop out of nowhere and start working with you, wanting to work with you. You'll, a relationship maybe that you were struggling with will resolve itself, or you'll meet that right person. Your life will become more harmonious and more of what you want when you share this, when you do this, make this perspective shift and you start to shift your energy. So what is one perspective shift that you're committed to making? If you're comfortable sharing it, then please share it in the comments. I would love to hear about it. And also, what do you choose to align your energy with? What do you want more of in your life? Please share that in the comments below too. I'll tell you, for me, I want more joy, more happiness, abundance. I already have quite a bit of it. But the more I have, the more I'm able to give and share with other people. Terry says work. So that's you want to shift your perspective around work, if I'm understanding that correctly. Yeah, I mean, I've been in the situations in work where I was really, really unhappy. And sometimes, and this will be my challenge to you, Terry, is to start to look at the situation, whatever it is the situation is in your work that you're not happy with or that you're struggling with or is a challenge for you. Ask yourself, how could I look at this differently? How could I look at this differently? And open yourself up to having a different opinion or different perspective on the situation. Maybe, or focus on having compassion. If it's, your coworkers that you're struggling with, compassion for your coworkers or compassion for yourself and forgiveness for yourself. I was in a work situation many years ago that was very challenging. I was really struggling with a certain relationship in work, and I was getting very angry and frustrated with the situation. And I'm like, this is not productive. I need to shift. I've got to shift my perspective. And I was having trouble doing that. And so what I did is for me, I grabbed the Course in Miracles book. And I said, I asked the divine, I said, please show me the thing that I need to read that will help me make the perspective shift. You grab a book, you could, look for an inspirational quote, whatever will help you make the shift. And I opened up the book and I looked at the passage that, my eyes went to, and it was just the perfect thing that I needed to read. And I read that every day, many times a day, focusing on trying to embody what the positive energy was of that passage in the Course in Miracles. And the situation resolved itself. It resolved itself in a way that I wanted it to be resolved. But more importantly because that took a little bit of time, more importantly than the final outcome was how I started to feel about the situation immediately. Because you know what? When I'm in anger, when I'm unhappy, it's only hurting me. And when you're angry and you're unhappy, it's really only hurting you. It's not hurting the other people that you're mad at. So you do yourself a huge service when you shift your perspective and your energy around a situation so that you can feel better about the situation and you can have more of what you want in your life and what you want that situation to look like. So maybe that'll work for you, Terry. Find a book or a passage or inspirational quote, something that you can almost like meditate on or you can bring up in your mind to help you make that shift. Terry says eating right and exercise helps as well. Absolutely. Yes, to maintain a high energy level, because Lord knows if you're not eating right and not exercising and not getting enough sleep, you're going to have a little more issue with having, vibrating at the higher energy level and in being your best self. Let's see. Terry says, I agree with what you're saying. Thank you. Well, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. It's my opinion, but I hope it helps. And that's why I do these videos and I share what I'm thinking, because I want to help you and help everybody who's watching and the people who might catch the replay to have more happiness, more abundance, and more joy in your life. And so I want to bring this home and kind of wrap this up. At the end here. And if you're kind of midway through the broadcast and you don't know who I am, I'm Christine Parma. You can find out more about me at christineparma.com. If you're stuck in a situation that you're working really hard, if you're in your own business, you're an entrepreneur, you're working really hard, and things just aren't working. Or in your business is not working for your life. You're working 24/7. It seems like burning the candle at both ends, and you're starting to feel really burned out, and you can't seem to identify what the stuck point is, what the problem is. You're not attracting clients. Maybe you're not attracting clients who are willing to pay for to work with you. Maybe they're not willing to pay anything to work with you, so you're getting a bunch of no's or hearing crickets when you make your offer. Or you are not attracting clients who actually value your services enough to pay what you're asking. So maybe you're resorting to discounting, your fees, or taking on clients you really don't want to work with. And that puts you, that can start to breed resentment and, the struggle. It's negative energy. Well, I'm really good at pinpointing log jams and helping people see clearly what their next steps are that they need to take to change the situation, to get more clients in the door, start attracting more clients who value you, value your work, and are willing to pay what you're asking and pay a higher fee. I'm great at helping people make mindset shifts to get unstuck. So if you are stuck, in, you can't really put your finger on what the problem is, and you would like to chat with me, I am opening up a few spaces in my calendar to help you do that. And if that's of interest to you, just type MEET, M-E-E-T, and I'll write that up here in the comment section below, whether it's live or on the replay, and you'll get a message in your Facebook Messenger inbox that tells you how to schedule a time to talk with me. I would love to help you make the shift because I have been in very stuck places in my life, and other people helped me get unstuck. Other people helped me make the mental, the mindset, the energy shift for my outer world to be different, and also to help me with the practical implementations and execution steps that I needed to take to help manifest and make the energy shift show up faster in my outer world than just sitting around meditating, waiting for money to rain down on my head. So I would love to help you with that. Just type the word MEET, M-E-E-T, down below, and we'll set up a time to chat. One last comment here from Terry. People have to buy you before they buy from you. Absolutely. And I promise you, if your energy is low, if your energy is off because of you're letting current circumstances almost dictate what your energy is, then it will be much harder for people to resonate with you. If you're trying to put out a positive message, but your negative energy is kind of counteracting that, people pick up on that. You can put on the happy face, but people will pick up on that you're maybe resonating with desperation, trying to get clients. You're not feeling confident in what you offer and how you're putting yourself out there. You're not feeling confident in the value that you offer, your inherent value as a person, and also the value that you share with people through the work that you do. I believe, when you're in alignment with what the work is that you're meant to do in this world, then the opportunities, oh my gosh, just from my own experience, opportunities start to show up that you could never imagine in your life because your thinking is too small. It can be too small. More than you could ever imagine starts to happen in your life, and things start to shift in the outer world to reflect what's going on in your inner world. I promise you that is how it goes, okay? It's not just me saying it. I promise you that's how it goes. So thank you so much for joining me on the live stream or on the replay, for catching this on the replay. It has been my honor to share this message with you and to serve you. If you want to find out more about me, who I am, what I'm about, and how I work, you can find me at christineparma.com. And I would love to hear from you. I'd love to get to know you better. So until Monday night business training at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on my Facebook page, I wish you an amazing success and amazing happiness and abundance in your life. And until next week, I wish you the best. Take care and always shine brilliantly. Bye-bye.